Few figures in hip-hop carry as much mystery as MF Doom. The man behind the mask built a career rooted in persona, anonymity, and subversion. And somewhere along that path, the story emerged. Maybe he didn't always show up on stage. Maybe sometimes it was a Doombot, an actor or a hired hand under the mask. Whether you believe the legend or not, the idea that Doom used imposters plays perfectly into his villainous identity. It's one of those rare rap myths that feels believable because it fits his story too well. Daniel Dumile first made noise in the early 90s under the name Zevlov X, one-third of the group KMD. To put it short, tragedy hit, the death of his brother, R.I.P. Subrock, and label politics. He disappeared from the scene for years. He then re-emerged from the underground as MF Doom, donning the metal mask, creating a myth and reintroducing himself as the villain rap didn't know it needed. Operation Doomsday dropped in 1999 and made him a cult hero instantly. From that point, Doom wasn't just a rapper, he was a character existing somewhere between comic book panels and real life. His mask was his rebellion against the fame machine. He modeled it after Marvel's Dr. Doom, the ultimate anti-hero who hid his scars behind steel. The mask let Doom rap without the baggage of celebrity or image. It was about the words, the beats, and the story. When you come to a Doom show, come expecting to hear music. Don't come expecting to see, he once said, making it clear that the face was irrelevant. The mask became the brand, the logo, and the shield all at once, and it gave him the power to rewrite what being a rapper even looked like. It didn't take long for rumors to start. Fans started noticing that shows where Doom seemed off. The man on stage looked slimmer, moved differently, or didn't carry himself at all like the Doom they'd seen before. At a San Francisco gig, the Village Voice reported that the guy didn't even look like him, sparking debates online. These strange performances gave birth to whispers that maybe, just maybe, the masked villain had clones. As the story spread, fans coined the term Doombot. It came from comic book lore. Dr. Doom famously used robotic duplicates called Doombots to handle his dirty work. It was the perfect metaphor for what people thought Doom was doing. By the mid-2000s, the fake Doom shows were part of his reputation. You might buy a ticket and never be sure who you'd actually see. And in true villain fashion, Doom never fully denied it. He just smirked through the rumors and kept it moving. When journalists asked him directly, he didn't flinch. Everything we do is villain style, he said. Everybody has the right to get it or not. The answer was perfectly Doom, half explanation, half riddle. It left room for interpretation. Maybe the doubles were performance art. Maybe they were necessity. Maybe it didn't matter. In a strange way, his vagueness only deepened the legend because every non-answer felt like confirmation. The most famous fake Doom sightings came around 2010. In Chicago, fans complained that the rapper looked nothing like Doom and performed half-heartedly. A Toronto crowd claimed they were straight-up catfished, booing when the performer failed to deliver Doom's trademark energy. Some promoters even admitted afterwards that they suspected a stand-in. Whether true or not, these moments cemented the Doombot myth as a permanent part of his story. At first glance, it sounds outrageous. Why risk fans' trust? But for Doom, it actually made sense. The man built his entire brand around mystery, misdirection, and playing with perception. Using stand-ins could have been an extension of that same art. It forced audiences to question authenticity itself, blurring lines between the performer and the persona, the artist and his creation. To Doom, the mask was bigger than any one man. Fans were split right down the middle. Some were furious, demanding refunds and calling it disrespectful. Others saw it as the ultimate Doom move, trolling the industry and living the villain gimmick to perfection. On social media, debates raged between he's scamming us and he's teaching us a lesson about celebrity. For some, the mystery became part of the fun. You didn't just go see Doom, you went to see if it was Doom. Mainstream outlets didn't always know what to do with the story. Some saw it as lazy or unethical, while others praised it as high-concept performance art. Consequence of Sound, Village Voice, and Hot New Hip Hop each ran features dissecting the imposter Doom theory. Each piece came to the same conclusion. Doom blurred reality on purpose. His concerts weren't meant to satisfy, they were meant to provoke. His presentation made impersonation easy. He wore oversized hoodies, gloves, hats, and that signature metal mask covering nearly his whole face. He didn't interact much with crowds, he didn't take selfies, didn't hang out backstage for photo ops. That mystique created a vacuum of proof. No one could say for sure what he looked like beneath that mask. The costume wasn't just iconic, it was camouflage. Whether you view the doubles as trickery or theater, they represent something larger. He challenged the idea that rap has to be transparent, and that fans are owed some constant authenticity. His use of persona was deeper than branding, it was philosophy. He showed that identity in hip-hop can be fluid, layered, and even contradictory. In that sense, the body double legend is less about lying and more about questioning what real even means. Plenty of circumstantial evidence gives the theory weight. Multiple eyewitness accounts, differing body shapes, and Doom's own comments line up a little too well. Add in his villain motif and you have a perfect recipe for the plausible myth. Fans argue that the mask itself was designed for this type of deception. It was part of the plan all along, and honestly, Doom was clever enough to pull it off just to make a point. But when you step back, there's still no hard proof. No one has ever caught a confirmed Doom double backstage or confessed to being one. It's possible some of the fake shows were just bad nights, bad sound, or Doom experimenting with lip syncing setups. Critics note that people tend to mythologize artists who cultivate mystery. In that sense, fans may have built the Doombot legend out of thin air, because it's too good of a story not to believe. The fake Doom myth did leave a mark on his reputation. Some fans swore off seeing him live, calling it disrespectful, while others bought tickets precisely for the unpredictability. It made his concerts like a cultural roulette. You never knew what kind of show you'd get. That gamble became part of his brand identity, as dangerous and unpredictable as the supervillain he portrayed. For Doom, controversy wasn't a bug, it was a feature. Within hip-hop, authenticity is sacred, but Doom treated the whole concept like a social experiment. He leaned into character in a way closer to Andy Kaufman or performance art than typical rap culture. Sending out body doubles, if he really did, would just extend that thought. Why not challenge the industry's obsession with realness? He wasn't mocking hip-hop, he was testing his limits. On a deeper level, the body double story plays with identity itself. When the man behind the mask becomes replaceable, it raises the question, what defines the artist? The voice, the face, the energy? Doom's entire aesthetic thrived on that ambiguity. Fans projected their own expectations onto him, turning the mask into a mirror, and the body doubles only made that reflection murkier. When news of Doom's death broke in 2020, the internet didn't mourn like usual. It analyzed, decoded, and questioned. Some fans even half joked that the announcement might itself be a final Doombot trick. His death solidifies his mythic status. The idea of body doubles became part of his legend forever. Articles revisited the rumors as proof of how committed he was to the character. In the end, Doom became exactly what he wanted, larger than life and impossible to pin down. Other artists always speak of Doom with deep respect. People like Flying Lotus, Tyler the Creator, and Earl Sweatshirt have all cited him as a genius of concept and mystery. They never confirmed the doubles, but they did understand the point. In their eyes, Doom wasn't trolling, he was experimenting with identity and detachment in an art form obsessed with ego. Even in rumor, his creativity inspired peers to rethink performance itself. Today, the Doombot theory is practically canon. It's quoted in documentaries, referenced in lyrics, and analyzed in essays about anonymity in art. The myth adds a layer of texture to his already complex legacy, turning him from man to mythos. For newer fans, it's an entry point to explore his discography. For old heads, it's a reminder of how unpredictable he was. Either way, it proves his impact runs deeper than music. It's philosophical. So did MF Doom really use body doubles? Maybe sometimes, maybe never. The beauty is that we'll probably never know, and that's exactly how he'd want it. He built a world where truth and fiction coexist, where the villain wins by confusing the audience. In an age obsessed with image and exposure, Doom's greatest magic trick was making mystery cool again. Rest in peace.